Now, for more on the future of LeEco, we're joined by Ari Zoldan, CEO of Quantum Media Group. Welcome back to the show.
Great to be here, Rachelle.
So in looking at how things went wrong for LeEco, how much of it was bad strategy versus bad luck?
I don't know if it was so much bad luck. I don't think this was an issue of really bad timing. I really think is that, you had this chairman who had these grandiose ideas. There was no planning involved, and certainly there was simply no execution. And, this is the result of it.
And we certainly see that Amazon took a very slow and steady approach to its ascent. So what essentially could LeEco have done differently?
I think they should have thought things through. And I guess, within technology and our companies, heavily invested in technology and new media, it's very, very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to go in one direction, to go in the other direction without really thinking things through, given that technology evolves so quickly. So it's natural. You're able to do that sort of naturally. But the challenge is that, you do need a plan and you need a strategy. And quite frankly, I love what they were doing with the streaming service in China, especially trying to match it up with a hardware play. But there was just no execution.
And we certainly see that their troubles seem to be continuing. We know that LeEco is now also facing a legal battle over its failed $2 billion merger with Vizio collapsing, also issues with suppliers and questions about delayed payroll. How does LeEco stop the bleeding and get back on track?
I think it's going to be very, very hard for them to be able to get back on track. I mean, they're really hurting their brand. They're going to be laying off a lot of people right now, and they're leaving just bits and pieces on the floor right now. It's going to be very, very hard to patch this back together.
Now, let's try and find some silver lining here. We know that LeEco has its reach in televisions, electric cars, phones, etc. What are some of the positive aspects of LeEco's business that they could perhaps nurture?
So I think, again, they're positioned as the Netflix of China. So there's software there, there's IP, there's patent. So I do believe that there is intrinsic value in the company, and possibly an opportunity is to maybe revisit, not necessarily with a Vizio, but another American company or another European company, and be able to find that perfect match. And I think that there are opportunities out there for them.
Do you think perhaps partnership could be a better way, and as opposed to trying just as an individual company to try and branch out and cover all this ground?
Oh, there's no question. I think a partnership, quite frankly, after what happened, Rachelle, it's the only way to go. Especially you're talking about a Chinese company looking to get into the U.S. market without any background or any expertise in it. The only way really to go into it is through a partnership, and a partnership that really makes sense on paper.
Now, there are certainly lots of ambitious companies out there, like Tesla, for example, branching out in a lot of still different but related industries. So what are some of the lessons you could learn then for these other companies that might want to branch out into multiple directions? How can they learn from this experience?
Well, I think really it's about it's slow and steady. It's following a game plan, it's getting good management in place, and having some foresight. As I mentioned earlier in the program, Rachelle, it's very, very easy to sort of have this technology ADD. It's a very, very natural thing for a lot of entrepreneurs to have, and this is what I think the CEO had, but you just can't do that. And I think that we're seeing a lot of the repercussions right now. So for me, it's all about slow and steady. It's about executing on a game plan and then just staying the course.
Now, after failing to deliver on a lot of these ambitious goals, where does LeEco go from here?
I mean, it's an excellent question, Rachelle. Time will tell. And again, it's unfortunate because there's a lot of people in the company right now that have families that are going to be laid off, and they're leaving pieces on the floor right now. So, if you're asking if there's an opportunity for them to be able to try to get back on their feet, sure, the possibility exists, but there's a lot of issues now internally, not only with management and with the CEO leaving, but there are financial constraints right now. I mean, I just read a report right before I came on that they're actually holding off payroll until August. So you can imagine what's going to be happening with that.
Certainly a cautionary tale so